Hello, hello, hello. This is Lady Boulay, and welcome back to Black American Lineage. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for your thumbs up, and thank you for your comments. Thank you for keeping this channel going. Well, I came across something that I thought y'all would find interesting, and also you probably will find it amusing because people still want to think that Black Americans are stupid and that we'll fall for anything. Well, those might have been the old Black Americans. These are the new and improved Black Americans, and we know game when we see it. So now they're trying to pull a fast one on Black voters, and they think it's going to work, but it's not going to work. This is an opinion piece from the Daily Beast, and look at this headline. Black voters should decide whether Joe Biden stays or goes. It was written by this young man right here named Ernest Owens, and he describes himself as being in the LGBTQ community. So that's one of the groups that the Democrats advocate for. So now somebody, and you know that whoever is the editor or the owner of the Daily Beast had to sign on to this article. It seems like somebody is trying to get Black people on board for something that many Black people say they're not on board for, and that's voting for Joe Biden. So he's saying that Black voters should decide whether Biden goes or stays. Now, what Black person in their right mind would even want to attempt to make that decision? Now, they know what needs to be done. If they don't have the courage to do it, then I don't think Black people should touch that with a 10-foot pole, because that is something that would definitely come back to bite you regardless to how it goes. It will come back to bite Black people if they try to step in and say, oh yeah, we're the most loyal Democratic voters. We ought to make the decision. No, they don't ask us to make a decision about anything else. I don't even think we should breathe the thought that we should make a decision about Joe Biden. During the 2020 presidential election cycle, it was the Black vote that catapulted then candidate Joe Biden's Democratic primary victory. With the influence of longtime Congressman James E. Clyburn's endorsement in South Carolina, Black voters ensured that Biden would be the Democratic Party's nominee. With their steadfast support, Biden would run alongside Kamala Harris and help her make history as the first woman and Black candidate to become the nation's vice president. And we know Kamala's not Black. In 2024, Biden must once again rely on this very consequential base of voters to help salvage his campaign. Only this time, it's no longer a primary up for grabs, but his own political party that's fraught with questions of whether or not he's mentally fit to lead for another 4 years. Everyone from a growing coalition of Democratic elected officials to celebrity donors and supporters such as superstar George Clooney and Netflix co-founder Reed Hastings, they're asking Biden to step aside. But so far, the Congressional Black Caucus and its supporters are standing firm on Biden as the party's nominee, and essentially Black voters are as well. Well, that's what they say. Despite the ebb and flow of GOP increases among Black voters during the last presidential election, this influential demographic is the Democratic Party's most loyal base, with over 80% of its voters showing up for them in recent decades. Despite the historic obstacles and barriers that Black Americans have faced from leaders of both political parties, the Democratic Party has undoubtedly become the party of Black voters. Yes, with nothing to show for it. So when President Biden recently had a meeting with Congressional Black Caucus members asking for support, and he received such unyielding support from them, that means something. It sends a clear message that if the most loyal members of the Democratic Party aren't ready to give up on Biden, should others be so quick to do so either? When Biden recently described his dissenters as party's elite, he wasn't mincing his words. Too often, the most privileged often feel entitled to cherry pick its leaders and are often spared the vast consequences of whichever candidate is elected either way. In 2017, the celebrity and wealthy donors of Biden didn't face the same harsh realities that everyday Americans, especially those who are black and brown, of a Trump administration. Sure, they might have been mortified by a Trump presidency, but they remained rich and connected in ways that others were not. Black and brown people were not the only people who felt the repercussions of having Donald Trump for president. It's just that the white people didn't care. They just wanted Trump to be president. Because what we always say in the South about Southern white people, they don't care if they don't have anything. They just don't want us to have anything. So some of that was at play too. Back to the article. Black voters are more pragmatic and practical in how they elect leaders. In 2020, they understood that an older, politically astute white man, such as Biden, was better equipped to take on a powerful incumbent like Donald Trump. Yes, black people knew in 2016 that it was going to take an old white man to beat Donald Trump. Sexism and other biases had harmed Hillary Clinton's chances in 2016. But Biden was safer, and some might say a wiser choice to pull off a Democratic victory in 2020. As a result, the logic often made about Biden supporters now is that he's the only one who has defeated Trump. Well, that's true. And still can as the incumbent. That remains to be seen. Putting up a new candidate at the 11th hour can create more problems than it solves. Yeah, well, and they should have thought about that in 2020 and made it clear to him that he wasn't going to run in 2024. Black voters are more risk averse because they recognize that their livelihoods are the ones most likely to be under threat if things go wrong. Well, no, black people are under threat either way. It's easy for Clooney to write an op-ed for the New York Times telling Biden to drop out, but for black voters who have backed him for years, not so much, because new questions will emerge. Will the alternative be better or worse? And how much of a risk are they taking given the current political climate? Well, that's true, because they really don't have anybody that's going to beat Trump. But what's fascinating to me is the fact that they really want Donald Trump. There's a large group of American people that want Donald Trump. Why do they want Donald Trump? It's not because he was a great president, because he really wasn't. And he really doesn't have a great skill set. And he's a liar. They pointed out a number of lies that he told that last debate. And rather than focus on some of the things that he did wrong, they are radar focused on Joe Biden. This country is going to be okay either way. It doesn't matter which one of those men is president. One of them will just get in and do a lot of talk. He might ban some Africans from coming to the country, but he's not going to do a lot. He might do some surface stuff, but he's not going to do anything substantive like bring back manufacturing jobs or increase minimum wages or do something that's going to really help people, bring down these high mortgage rates so more people can get homes. If he wins, I would love to see what he does to really help the American people. All he is a bag of wind. And the other one seems to be really dealing with some kind of, age-related problems. So, to me, it's 6 in one hand and half a dozen in the other. But as far as black people trying to get in and make the decision, I think that would be a mistake. But what say you? Let me know what you think about the video. Let me know what you think about black people deciding whether Biden goes or stays. Let me know what you think. Okay, y'all. Thank you for listening and have a great day.